Welcome to Vegas Nonstop, presented by Big Dog's Draft House, Craig and Rancho, and Charlie Palmer's Steak in the Four Seasons Hotel. I'm the announcer, John Lindquist, and tonight's guests include entertainers Clint Holmes, Frankie Scinta, sports writer Rob Mish, plus co-host Jeffrey with a G, Jeffrey Kramer. Now let's welcome the executive producer and host of Vegas Nonstop. Here is on-air personality Jonathan Scott.
Thank you, John Lindquist. Happy Saturday, everybody. Last Saturday in January.
Hot air personality?
Hot air personality.
I thought I heard.
Clint Holmes making it in just under the wire.
Wow.
Clint, your timing's impeccable.
If I'd have known that Frankie Scinta was going to be here, I would have been here an hour ago.
I didn't know you were coming either.
Or you wouldn't have come.
I wasn't for sure. One guy from the East Coast is enough in here.
Two guys from Buffalo walk into a bar.
Yeah, we are both kind of from the city of Buffalo.
That's right. Yeah, the area.
I grew up in the hood, though. He grew up in, like, one of those.
He grew up in the
Is
black
there a nice
section
part
of
of Buffalo?
Absolutely.
There
There's
is.
nice part
It
of
is a
Buffalo.
great
Yeah,
city.
Absolutely. I was not in Buffalo. Frankie was in Buffalo. I was in Farnham.
Farnham,
There's a difference.
if I can make it there.
I'll be the only one.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's,
Jonathan's
I
here.
think Jonathan's having some technical
We've got
difficulties.
technical issues. I think, Mark, are you getting audio on my mic? Yes? No? A little bit?
We're not getting audio from you, Jonathan.
How about we just carry on without it? Clint,
yes.
have you been watching the NFL playoffs?
What do you think?
You tell me.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Uh-oh.
I love talking sports
Drum
with you
roll.
guys.
Here's what I think. And I love Cam Newton. Love Cam Newton.
I totally agree. Rob and I were just talking about
absolutely.
Here's a feeling. When Cam gets, you know how psyched he gets when something good happens.
Yes.
I've also seen when something little off goes, he gets a little psyched then too. He goes.
Sure, he's
he
emotional.
he's emotional. And I just wonder if that game's close, if Cam on that big stage doesn't try to do too much and maybe turn the ball over on a fumble or a bad throw. Other than that, I think they're going to dominate.
See, I don't
just
think it'll be close.
If it is close,
Yeah.
that's my only
Yeah.
concern. If it is close, it's a big stage, first time on that stage, possibly a turnover. But that's all.
I think it's going to move to 6 points.
It is. It already is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Six and a half.
Yeah.
We're-
6.5?
We're
Where?
I heard.
6 and 46 right now in most places.
Here's my make on it. My heart is with Peyton Manning,
Sure.
just because the Manning family is from the father to the boys. They're just great guys.
Okay.
They really are. They're humble.
Eli, too?
Peyton's been to the big game. The big game is a lot different than a playoff game or a regular season game. That game is different.
Well, let's back up a little bit to the
Wait a
playoff
minute.
games.
So my heart is with Peyton. My money is with Carolina.
Still nothing on my microphone?
I don't hear you coming through. I don't know about
You're not
anyone
coming
else.
through us, but I think the people driving and running into stuff right now are.
You're listening to CBS.
Here's my take on Cam and Carolina right now. I've been blown away what they've done against two tremendous teams in Arizona and Seattle, both of whom have great defenses.
True.
Seattle's got a very experienced team, having gone to the last 2 Super Bowls. I mean, they went through them like a hot knife through butter. It wasn't even close.
I know.
I-
I think Denver's got a great defense. We know Denver's got a great defense.
Denver has an excellent defense at home. I'm curious to see what they're going to do on a neutral site. And quite frankly, my New England Patriots, who didn't play a very good game last week, held Denver to 3 points in the second half last week.
Yeah.
So I don't see how they're going to score.
Well,
It ought to be very interesting.
Have you seen how fast Carolina's defenders are?
yeah, and I would love to see Peyton have a great game, but Carolina win. But I would not be brokenhearted if Peyton won because he's a great player. And this could be his last game.
I think it's it. I think it's the swan song. He's making too much money with pizza.
I think so. Yeah.
And nationwide.
A lot of people
No,
don't
here's
think
that.
he's going to make it through the game.
Well,
No.
Peyton, he's going
come
to
on, I hope
he's
he
going to
does.
get whacked around. You'll see
I hope he
Osweiler.
does. I mean, geez.
If we could back up a little bit to last week,
Okay.
your kicker for the Patriots.
Stephen Koskowski,
Is he on
There's the
their take?
game right there.
Was he paid off?
524 straight
That was your
extra
game.
point attempts.
If he makes
and
that
he
kick,
goes-
it's a tie, and they go into overtime.
He goes wide right and he misses his first one in
Yeah.
10 years.
Shaving
That's unbelievable.
points.
It's funny you said that. I had someone in Brooklyn call me to say he thought that game was fixed.
I said the
don't-
same thing.
I can't answer that. On the, on the,
And then,
Yes,
well,
you
they say two things.
Frankie's under a gag order. He can't say anything.
Koskowski missing the extra point was one, and then on the 2-point conversion to ostensibly tie the game,
Right.
he had Gronk wide open in the corner, but tries to go to Edelman. Akeem Talib steps in, knocks it down, and game over, really.
that really was strange.
I
I mean, his guy, Gronk, wide open. Kind of hard to miss. Big guy.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
really think you don't really?
I
think
don't
so.
really think so. No,
No.
because I don't think Tom has it in him to take a dive or to lose a
Yeah.
game like that. I
No.
don't.
Or to
Or
deflate-
Belichick.
Or Belichick.
Or to deflate a football. Not at all.
Never.
Never.
He didn't do it.
I know he didn't. I know. Like Michael Corleone didn't kill anybody.
He didn't even know about it.
He didn't even know. I
Wow.
was christening.
Anything else you want to add about last week's playoffs?
Well, I mean, obviously the Denver New England game, I think was the highest rated football game in 30 years in the
No
NFL.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
The ratings were through the roof.
Oh, well, what did you think of the quarterback for Arizona?
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer. Well, you know,
It's the typical Carson Palmer
was
story,
it a
right?
choke?
Well,
I hate
first
to
of
use
all,
that
I
word,
think
but-
it came out later on that the finger
finger?
that he had hurt, I think, was worse than obviously reported. I don't think the Cardinals wanted people to know how bad it was.
Well,
obviously.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But you know, it's a classic story of a guy similar. I'm not going to throw him under the bus to a Peyton Manning, where they come to the postseason. I mean, Peyton Manning is a sub 500 postseason quarterback.
Right.
Carson Palmer's been there a bunch of times. He finally won his first game against the Packers the week before on a great comeback, but he was 0-7 before that. I think some guys just know how to perform under pressure with the big stage and the big lights, and
Right.
other guys cannot.
Yeah, I think so, and that's what's going to be interesting about Cam, because at this point he's playing at a level that who's played at that
It
level.
doesn't even look
you
like
know?
it phases him.
I know
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah,
How would an athlete? This
It looks
guy?
like he's having a good time. is
And
what
the
it
other
is.
thing is, everybody I've heard talk about him say he is a great guy. I mean, genuinely, you know, like the attitude they're talking about the things he does, and they're saying
He's
you know
catching
what?
a lot of
He's-
flack, though.
Yeah, he's a 26-year-old guy. He's great. He's having a lot of fun, and he gives to charity, and he gives balls to kids, and he's a great guy. You know, so shut up.
I agree.
You know,
Kids
with
having
that
fun
stuff.
playing ball.
Yeah.
He was being interviewed by Carrie Champion this week on ESPN. He said,
Right.
listen, I want it all. I want the fame. I want the money. I want the titles. I want the rings. I want to enjoy it all. He said, I'm greedy. And he said, it's not a bad thing.
And it seems
Yeah.
like his head's on straight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
And
He's
what
a
I
good
said to
guy.
Rob before we came on the air is, you know, he had that terrible car accident last year.
Yeah.
Since then, it's all turned around. He's
Yeah.
17-1 since then.
And something like that also put your head on straight,
Right.
That's exactly right.
potentially. You know,
Now, if you're on defense though, I can see where maybe that kind of those antics will rub you wrong after each first down.
right?
But
Right. Yeah.
that's being petty.
Well,
I
so
think.
look at Ali.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Ali was that, and then eventually people said, well, if he can do it,
Exactly.
yeah, you know, if you can back it up,
Yep.
then you're good.
Mhm.
Can we bring one more sports thing up?
By all
We
means.
can bring a lot of sports things up.
LeBron and Blatt. You guys have probably talked about that.
No,
We
we
have
haven't.
not.
We've not
Okay.
talked about basketball too much at all.
Well, the idea that LeBron got Blatt fired.
But I think it's obvious.
Yeah.
Even though it's not being discussed, but let's be honest, LeBron runs that organization.
Right. And I actually think it's a good thing. I don't think Blatt's a bad guy, but
He didn't belong there.
He didn't belong there. I really, yeah. Okay, I wondered what you thought about.
I think it's been discussed quite a bit, and he has had to more than once say that. Oh, I had nothing to do with it. Well, come on, you know he did.
Yeah.
You know, and
They
I think
need to bring Mike Fratello back to Cleveland.
there you go.
That
the
sounds
czar.
where's Fratello coaching right now?
Mike is not coaching.
He's not
He's,
coaching?
he's doing
He's a
color commentating.
commentator.
Okay, that's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. I just talked to him a couple of days ago. I think he would love to coach again.
Speaking of color commentary, we were out the other night. We brought up Bob Uecker, and there was a guy.
Must be
Sit-
in the front row.
He's only front row.
Right.
Euchre is still announcing,
Yep.
but he only does like 4 innings. Is that right? Like 4 innings a game.
It's great. Sounds like my brother.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Front row. Bob Uecker still announcing. Great announcers.
Frankie, I got to tell you something about Mike Fratello for a quick little story. I was covering the Clippers in the mid '90s. He was doing analysis for TV during a timeout. He meticulously outlined an inbound play for a girls' high school coach while they were off the air.
Oh, my God.
It was the
Wow.
coolest thing
That's
I've ever
very
seen.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I remember when I met him like 25 years ago. He walks up and goes, "Hi, I'm Mike Fratello. I love your show." He goes, "I'm coach of the Cavaliers." I go, who are the Cavaliers?"
Yeah.
So right there we became friends, and we're the same height, so it worked out. And we're still good friends. He's a great. He was a great.
You
coach,
introduced
man.
me to him. I
Yes.
through you. Yeah.
Gund
yeah.
was the one that let him go when Gund had the arena, when he owned the Cavs. But I think Mike would be great for the Cavaliers right now.
Oh yeah.
I want to get a quick plug in. Our friend Frankie Scinta is opening at the Plaza, February 19th on Friday. The
Go,
Scinta's
Frankie.
back in Las Vegas.
Residency at the Plaza. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's a
Great showroom.
And then everybody goes up to Oscars. It's fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Get drunk and eat.
You can go to Oscars before.
Yeah.
get
Oh,
drunk,
before. What time's
see
the
the
show?
show.
7:30.
7:30. You go
Yeah.
after.
And you know what? Two nights a week in a limited residency. We still have touring obligations this year, and I'm just very excited.
Great
I'm
property. We're excited for you.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm hoping my friend Clint will come and see you.
You know I'll be.
Well,
there,
it's
right?
my birthday, so
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah.
February
No, I
19th.
can't.
You're opening. I
Yeah,
couldn't have planned it better. I'll be 39.
Yo.
You know, I'll actually be in Florida when you open, but as soon as I get back.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
We'll-
good.
we'll
This
put
way
it on
I
Can't wait.
get those opening night jitters out of the way. You know how that is, the first night?
But you
Isn't it
turn,
every
you
night like
turn it
that?
into energy, dude. I've seen you
Isn't
on
every night
opening
like
and
that?
closing, and you know.
Don't you guys? I've got a question because
Yeah.
you both are seasoned. Do you still before you go on stage? Every time you go on stage, do you still get a little nothing? You don't.
Sometimes some like an opening night or some
Opening
a
night.
big important event, blah blah blah. Yeah, but generally speaking, I know Frankie and I both get excited before we're
Oh,
get
so
excited about
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
We're leaning forward in the foxhole. We
Yeah,
really
exactly.
are. I
Right.
can't wait to go out there.
Right, but not nervous every time. You can't, not every time. I mean, I guess people do.
At the White House performance I
Well,
did a long time ago,
Yeah.
that was the first time in my life I was scared to perform.
yeah.
Was that for Reagan?
Yeah.
It was.
I swear to God, you know, I was playing the piano. I didn't have a band. We were the band. So my
Well.
sustain pedal was on the right, my volume pedal for my string machine. My leg was shaking so bad the strings were like.
That's funny because so was Reagan's head.
Oh,
We're gonna take a short
my
break.
goodness.
You're listening to Vegas nonstop on KXNT.